Assamese language, Assamese literature, Assamese culture, have very ancient roots going back to, as I said, some thousands of years, and perhaps Dr. Kate will bail me out when I say this. She knows better about Assamese culture than myself, perhaps. Councillor Paul Daisy, who is with me today, will have perhaps say something about the important contribution which the various Asian communities make to the life of Brent, which is a multicultural borough. We in Brent Council are particularly aware of the contribution of the Asian community, and Brent Council is committed to giving encouragement, to giving support, and to give assistance for the development of Asian languages and culture. And that is why we associate ourselves fully with associations such as yours. Once again, I'm very grateful to you for giving me this platform to be with you today, and I wish your association all success, continued success and prosperity to members of your community in the future. Thank you very much for having me, and good luck to you. Thank you very much.
I'd like to ask Councillor, the leader of the Council of London Borough of Brent, Councillor Paul Daisley, to just talk as the President.
Madam Chair, honoured guests, Mrs. Kakati, organiser and other organisers of today's event, can I begin by thanking you very much for inviting me here today. It's a great pleasure to be here, and can I say, on behalf of myself and the Deputy Mayor, thank you very much for the gifts and the presents that you've shown us, the great kindness you've done to us. We really do appreciate that. It's very, very kind of you. Can I wish everyone here a very happy Diwali as well. Some of you may know, those who live in the borough, we are in the midst of our celebrations today, which is one of the reasons Peter and the Mayor have been extremely busy over recent days. We've had the Navratri celebrations recently, and now we're having the Diwali celebrations, and we're going off soon to the celebrations that will be going on down the Ealing Road up to the Wembley Stadium and the fireworks display tonight. So it's going to be a very, very busy day for us from the rest of the time, but we are delighted to be here. For those of you who live in the borough, you will know the nature of Brent. Peter talked about it being an ethnically diverse borough, and it is perhaps one of the most ethnically diverse boroughs, not just in Britain, but in Europe. We have peoples here from the Caribbean, from Africa, from the subcontinent, of course, and from Ireland. Some 10% of the population that lives in this borough was actually born in Ireland. So we have a very diverse groups of people living here in this single borough. And the council responds to that, diversity, in ensuring that we engage with and respect the traditions and the cultures of all those people who have come to live in this borough. And we do that because that is a good thing to do, of course. We also do it for another reason. In some parts of our country, in some parts of London, there are some very real problems, some very real difficulties that peoples who come from different cultures and traditions can't live together peacefully and in harmony. And we work very hard with all our communities to recognise a spirit of tolerance and a spirit of harmony exists across the borough. And it's very pleasing for us to know that in this borough we don't have the same difficulties and the same problems other parts of the country have. And that doesn't happen by accident. That happens by working together with our community groups, exploring each other's traditions and cultures, exploring the education and arts of the different peoples who live in this borough, and bringing them together and enjoying each other's differences. And that's the spirit in which we try to exist in this borough. And it's the role that the council plays in making sure that all our various groups can have their share and their say and have their input into the culture and life of the borough. And it works very well. And it's a very pleasant place to live in terms of integration between the different communities. It means that Peter and I and others on the campus spend a good lot of time meeting with people like yourselves in these kind of occasions. I'm glad to be here on the 550th anniversary of a saint that you're honouring, and that's good to be. When Rini came first and saw me to talk about today's events, I hadn't heard of the Assam Association, and unlike Peter, who has a store of knowledge of the subcontinent and its history, I don't pretend to have that same expertise and experience. But what Rini has already told me has made me interested to learn more about your culture and your history. And that's something that I've been grateful to partake in, of which I've been given some extra leaflets and books by Rini to actually learn a little bit more about the Assam people. So I look forward to doing that. Can I say again, Madam Chair, thank you very much for inviting us today, and I hope your celebrations go on through the day and you enjoy today. And if any of you would like to join us in the borough celebrating Diwali, we're having a quick procession down the Ealing Road, which is just at the top of the high street here. The parade will be coming down here with floats and music and bands, and then we're going up to the stadium just up the road here, the National Stadium, and at about 8 o'clock there's going to be a big firework display. So if you can spare time later on, please come and join us and enjoy that. Thank you very much.
Council, they have other pressing engagement, so they are leaving our meeting just now. Please give a hand to them. Give his address. I would like to say to you some of his things that I've come to know about him. Professor Saikia is a president of Assam Sahitya Sabha, the biggest literary organization in the northeastern India. He has been elected to the presidency of Assam Sahitya Sabha, which has been regarded as the highest literary honor in the state. Consecutively, for 2 years, he has been the president, 1997 and 1998. Professor Saikia is an eminent scholar, popular writer, poet and a philosopher who enriched the Assamese literature with his many invaluable contributions. He has been coming all the way from India to join us, and we are really deeply honored by his presence. Professor Saikia was born in Golaghat, it's a small province in state of Assam, and district of Assam, I may say, but he has been sort of a professor in Assamese, modern Assamese literature, and he started his career as a school teacher in 1959 and later joined in Dibrugarh University in 1972. Presently, he is the professor of Assamese at Dibrugarh University. I am really, really honored and pleased to meet him amongst us today, and I do hope you will all appreciate his presence.
Frequently, distinguished guests, organizers, the UK resident SMEs and press. At the very outset, I bow my head in the sacred memory of Shankardeva, the great saint, poet, artist, philosopher, whose 550th birth anniversary is being celebrated throughout the whole state of Assam, and in some other places like Delhi, Calcutta and Puri in India, and in New York and in London too. I'd like to thank and congratulate the SMS community of UK for organizing today's program to mark the 550th birth anniversary of Sri Sri Shankardeva. I also like to express my gratefulness to the organizers for inviting me to attend the program and giving me an opportunity to offer my tribute to Shankardeva, the greatest man of all times. Yes, I'd like to call him the greatest man, not being emotionally stressed, rather on reasons based on his genius and on historical facts. It is very sad on our part that